hair is so fucking flat. Oh my gosh. Ugh. What's up with your butter? Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming to join me for story time today. I'm so happy to be back. I wanted to kind of give you guys a surprise story time drop from Mother's Day. Okay, let's call it a Mother's Day present. Happy Mother's Day to all of my beautiful Glamazons that are mothers, about to be mothers. I've met you guys out in public with your kids, and it is so sweet. A lot of you guys, I've known y'all since y'all were little, since y'all were widow, and now y'all are creating your own little families. If you're not a mom, definitely happy Mother's Day to your mom for creating you and bringing your fine self into the world. I step out and then I step back in, and then I step out and then I step back in. And people are like, oh my God, what's going on? What's going on? Yes, a lot has changed in my life. Kids, my husband doing comedy, my mom moving. Not too long ago, we got into a car accident. Everybody is safe. And then my oldest son got into a car accident. He is safe. His car is not. It has been a struggle ever since we had that car accident. This was in the end of September of last year. And I had like a bruise across my waist from the seatbelt. And ever since, my waist feels like it's just gonna crack off, girl. Like one of them mannequins, boom, boom. You know what I mean? Walking with a little bit of a limp, very slight. It's a little pimp limp. Once upon a time, not long ago, first time I went to physical therapy, it was not under normal circumstances. Yes, I did get into a car accident. I really wasn't trying to do all of this because the person that I was suing was my grandma. I didn't want to. I wanted no parts. I was advised to by my grandma. Let's get into it. I'm gonna be traveling solo, okay? So my mom gets me my flight. Okay, cool. My grandma finds out. She's all excited. Okay, cool, cool, cool. And the time comes around and I head back home to Dallas and I go to my grandma's house and it smells just the same and she's in there cooking. She knows I love her tortillas, y'all, like handmade, like immediately comforted. It's like a warm blanket walking into that house and just smelling the smells and eating my grandma's food. I still slept with my grandma. Was I grown? What's your point? Now, me and my grandma, home skillet biscuits, okay? She used to call me her road dog because when we left the house, we were out all day. No coming back, no breaks. We're going to brunch, and this has been since I was a child. Like, we're always just out in the street. That's why I love the calle, because my grandma, this is ancestral, okay? She takes me to this restaurant that was right across from my cousin's house that I used to go to all the time when I was little. We meet up with some of my cousins, and I'm just like feeling at home, okay? But fast forward to like the next day. I remember in the morning, my grandma was acting a little weird. Like, she just kind of seemed quiet, and my grandma wakes up very early in the morning. And the minute that she's up, that woman is getting ready. For what? I don't know. It could be just sitting in her house, but she's gonna get ready. And my grandma has very, very naturally curly hair, but she fights against it with all her might and always has and always will. So I wake up to my grandma with the blow dryer just getting it straight. I make the bed, and typically my grandma's super chit chatty. Love my grandma. We always have the best of chats. Not this morning. Okay, maybe it's just a sound. Maybe it's a little too loud. Good morning, grandma. She don't say nothing, and she's heading into the kitchen. Come eat, and that's all she said was come eat. So I was like, okay, like no good morning, like dang. So maybe my grandma just had a bad night of sleep. My grandma was notorious for waking up all hours of the night. 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, knees on the floor, side of the bed, praying. The lady, she would be getting 2, 3 hours of sleep on average. I don't even know how she was managing. So I really didn't think that this was a big deal. She probably went to war last night. Are you ready? And I was like, yeah, I'm ready. And she goes, okay, let me just get my coat. So I remember her going into the living room. She had a living room closet off to the side. She opens that living room closet, and girl, the smell of mothballs just smacks me in the face. She goes for a fur. A fur. This is Texas. Texas! She wasn't done though. She gets her a fur bucket hat, okay? Let's go. And I was like, okay, great. And my grandma's driveway is like super steep, girl. Like, you gotta really make sure that you got toes gripping on that concrete. My grandma goes to open the door. She wibble wobbles just a little bit, okay? To be expected. A normal driveway is like this. My grandma's was like that, okay? So I noticed that she was a little wibbly wobbly. She turns on worship music. Okay, great, we're vibing. First stop we make, as per usual, IHOP. Starts talking a little bit more, acting a little bit more like herself. Pulls out her pill organizer, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, And so she pulls it out onto the table. I'm very used to this. My grandma got to take her medication, her vitamins, whatever, her business, okay? So the minute I see her pull that out, I'm like, okay, you got business to handle? I got business to handle too. I'm gonna run to the bathroom before we leave. And I leave her there with all her medications, and I take off to the bathroom. I come back, medications are off the table, she's done, we pay, we leave. Stop at like 2 shops. We love antique shopping. Stop next door at like this donut shop. We didn't end up getting anything. And then we got back in the car to head somewhere else. I want to say it was Walmart, if I'm remembering correctly. We're driving, and my grandma is quiet again, just like she was first thing in the morning. I'm still talking to her, but I'm talking to her like I've been talking to her for the last like 2-3 hours, when she was like getting all chatty again. And now boom, we're hitting this wall, and like silence in the car, girl, silence. She has sunglasses on, so she's just looking straight ahead, not saying anything. So to me, she looks very focused, okay? We're swaying a little bit. Okay, Grandma, I'm gonna need you, the lines, Grandma. I got it. That's why I don't say nothing. My heart starts beating fast. Something is wrong, and my grandma is just straight ahead, okay? But the steering wheel, one of these. Next thing I know, I am on the side of this busy street with police officers. This lady, she's super upset. Her car is messed up, I ain't even gonna lie. And my grandma and me over by her car, and my grandma's just sitting there in her fur coat and her fur bucket hat in Texas, just... My grandma just seems so out of it. Listen to me. My grandma is a business owner. Business, employees under her. Like, what are you talking about? She doesn't seem scared. She just seems indifferent. She just seems off. Girl, tell me why. You get into a car accident ever, God forbid, go get checked out immediately. No, don't fight me on this. Don't fight me on this, okay? We can fight about me not being all over YouTube all the time recently, but we're not gonna fight about your safety after an accident. My tia's convincing me to go get seen. I'm telling her no. At this point, girl, I'm 18. I'm basically invincible at this point. What you mean? Like, I'm fine. I think I'm hard-headed. My tia's hard-headed-er. And she was like, no, you're going. All of this is happening. My mom has no idea yet. My mom has no clue. We head back to my grandma's house. My grandma's still acting a little weird, and they call my mom and they tell her what happened. And my mom's on speakerphone, and we're all in the living room and we're talking to her, and my grandma is like, you know, mija, I don't know, like it just came out of nowhere. She came out of nowhere. Me and mija were fine, right, mija? We were having a good day, right? And so she starts bringing me into this basically as her witness, get my testimony on things, talking about, right, mija, you know, we were having a great day, which is true. But however, there are some little inconsistencies that like we need to discuss, because if we're talking about what I noticed and what I know to be true, I know you, lady, were acting a little weird, and I want to know why. My mom and my aunt are very concerned. Obviously, my grandma's older. You know, at this point in time, you start questioning, let's be real, you start questioning whether or not your parents should even have keys in the first place. They read off the citation to my mom, and what they wrote on there was essentially that my grandma was reckless driving. Okay, my grandma was reckless driving. My mom goes line by line. How did your morning start? What did you eat? Where did you go? What did you do after that? And then after that, okay. And then so my grandma's telling her, and my grandma's kind of annoyed. And she's like, okay, like we went here and I did this and I got up at this time and then I did my hair and I picked my mocos too. Did you need to know that too? You know, like giving her shit. And my mom was like, just tell me, just, lady. And so they're going back and forth, and it's the most hilarious thing ever. You get to the part about us going to IHOP, right? Tia was like, what did you eat? And you know, they're grilling my grandma. And my grandma was like, you know, I ate this and I ate that. And my tia goes, oh, and you took your medication, right, mom? My grandma got so offended. How dare you tell me I got bad memory, girl? You know I take my medication when I need to. Before she was even done, she's off the couch grabbing my grandma's breast. Let me see. Let me see what you got. They start pulling on the purse. The way that y'all treat me, I just know that y'all are gonna put me in a home because this is so disrespectful. Meanwhile, my tia's head deep in her purse, the pill organizer, and puts it on the coffee table in front of us. And she looked at the day of today, and sure enough, that little portion was empty. I don't need y'all telling me what to do. I'm y'all's mom, okay? I'm y'all's mother. and I know how to take my own medicine, all right? My tia starts opening. Her vitamin, that's her blood pressure medication. What's this one right here? That's the one to help me with my digestion. This is not for digestion, Mom. So my mom hears that and was like, what is it? What is it? What does it look like? What does it say on it? Are there any numbers on it? Girl, we start going into an entire investigation about this one pill. My grandma has a beautiful big dresser, and she would have like all her medications off to the side. And it seemed like while she was organizing her things, she grabbed the wrong pill bottle and put these pills in every one of her days. But it makes you very, very drowsy. Yeah, my mom, my grandma, you know, they all operated together. They always have, they always will. It just has always been that way when it comes to me and my brother. I know that they all had a conversation on the phone that I was not privy to until later, and I'm brought into the kitchen. My mom is on the phone, my grandma's at the table, so is my tia. Now my tia went to school to be a physical therapist, so she understands and knows the importance and the complexity of getting treatment and getting treatment fast after you get hurt like that. Here is where the plan was conveyed to me that I would essentially be suing my grandma, her insurance company. Even though my grandma is at fault, that her insurance will cover my injuries and that it's important that I go get seen and I get physical therapy. No, I'm not doing, this is my grandma. Like, physical therapy, I was like, how am I gonna do physical therapy? I live in Colorado. Like, I can't stay here for physical therapy for 12 weeks or something. We'll find you a physical therapist over there that's covered under grandma's insurance. Point, my grandma felt so bad. Like, my grandma cried and she was like, Mija, I just want you to be safe. I think she felt bad that I was in the car with her. I think she felt bad that she made a mistake with her medication. And I think she just felt bad. Fast forward a few days before I leave to come back to Denver, there's a knock on the door, and this man comes in looking like he is from ABC News. Okay, he looks very journalist to me, and got like a notepad in his hand, a camera, like a really nice DSLR camera hanging off his shoulder. And he comes in, he's kind of got like this hectic energy. Okay, hi, nice to meet you. Hi, nice to meet you. Hi, you're the injured one? Okay, great. Come sit down. And so he asked me questions about, like, you know, the accident. Okay, so we're just gonna take a picture of you, and so that way we could put it a part of your case. So just take a picture. Let's not smile for this. And I was like, oh, so somewhere out there is a picture of me, and I am glelula, I am grenuda at that point. Okay, I had not brushed my hair. I did not know that this was happening. I didn't know I was having a photo op, girl. So I'm sitting there, messy hair, sweatpants, chilling with no makeup on. Definitely not feeling the prettiest. Without saying it, telling me to look sad. Like, just let everything relax, you know? Like, just not a smile, no smirk or nothing. We just went, like, for lack of better words, look sad, huh? This is during the point in my life where I'm not living with my mom. I did not get my car until the next year. So at this point in time, I'm still on that bus life. Girl, why? My mom gives me this information and says, okay, we found a physical therapist that's covered under grandma's insurance. This is the only one that you can go to. Here's the information. I put in that address, 50 minutes away. 2 buses. 4 buses in total, just to get there and back. This is the smallest physical therapy office I've ever seen in my life. It was like a part of a shopping mall, and it did kind of look a little sketch, I ain't even gonna lie. I walk in there, I'm tired. I've been on ample buses, and it was a little hard to find this place, and I just wanna get this over with. So I walk in, 2 girls behind the desk. Excuse me, 1 sec. Kind of walk up to the desk, looking right at her. She's got a paper in front of her, don't know what she's writing. She takes forever, girl. And I am sitting there huffing and puffing, trying to let my heart go down from this relay race that I've been doing. Okay, how can I help you? Not even once did not look up, not even once. When you walk in, there's like a desk off to the left, little waiting room off to the right, and then it opens up into a big square room, and they have all kinds of like different tables and, you know, instruments and like things that you can climb on and climb off, and, you know, things you can stretch on. To the side of that square room on the left, there's like a row of private rooms. He's an older dude. He kind of gives me like Mr. Clean vibes. He's bald. He's a white guy. He's got a mustache. And so he lays me down on this table, and it's got like that tissue protective paper on it. Lays me down on there, and he starts talking to me while ever so slightly basically stretching my legs and like having me bring my legs to my chest. And he starts checking my hips and like the alignment of my legs and asking me if certain things hurt. He has me sit up, tell me about the accident, tell me what happened. He's got me doing like some minor little band exercises just to kind of get me warmed up. And he was like, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go see about another patient real fast. All of a sudden he walks back in with a dude. He's also wearing scrubs, and he's got like a little name tag, and he kind of like starts gesturing over to my table where I'm at. And so they're both like glancing over at me, and I'm like, oh my God, like stop. And he's another physical therapist under him. He just started not too long ago, basically pawning me off on this man. And was like, it was so nice meeting you and everything, but from going forward, you're gonna be with him. And I was like, oh, okay. Immediately I was like, this is gonna be a problem. This a lot. So when was your accident? And like, your grandma's cool too, right? It's a chart. He starts kind of checking off the things that I've already done, and he's like, okay, so perfect. Matter of fact, how about you just get up real fast and follow me. And he starts walking. So I get up and I follow him across that big room, and he is headed to one of those private rooms. And I was like, the touchy was a little too touchy. The touchy was a little too touchy, girl. He was like, why are you checking my joint and my elbow when all of my pain and everything that happened in this accident is in my back? Why are you cradling my arm like this for long periods of time while you're talking? Huh? Why are you doing that? I felt really self-conscious. I felt super self-conscious. They have you like lifting your leg and all kinds of crazy angles, putting his hand behind my thigh to like help me stretch out my leg. Girl, he was taking a very long time on purpose and hovering over certain spots and holding my arms and holding my feet a little too long. And you just had to be there, girl. So I went to the front desk and I was like, hey, you know, on some girlfriend shit, you know, like, hey, what's up? Hi. Is there anything that I need to sign or anything? No. Already a lot, and I'm having to ride, and after this, bitch, I gotta ride 2 buses on the way home. I don't have time for your shit. So I straight up, I was like, are you okay? Are you having a good day? I'm fine. And I was like, okay, well, it just kind of seems like you're a little frustrated. I'm not frustrated. I'm just focused. And I was like, okay, well, can you focus on helping me? Because I have a question for you and I need your help with it. Have you ever been in the presence of a girl like that? Yes, you too? You too? Okay. I really appreciate meeting Brian. He's great and everything. I just don't feel like it's a good fit. Is it possible for me to do my future appointments with Mr. Clean? Can I get on his schedule? How does that work? How can we do that? You don't want to see Brian anymore? Walking out of the room, I could see him out of my periphery, walking out of the room. And he's coming out, and so, you know, he's within earshot, and I'm like, and she's like, so you don't? It's just not the right fit. And if you could please look and see if Mr. Clean has any availabilities, I would very much appreciate it. So, I mean, is there a concern? Like, is there a problem that we should know about with Brian? Or, like, shut up! Why are you saying it so loud? And why do you keep repeating his name? Like, she was being messy on purpose. I don't feel like it's the right fit. I really enjoyed the conversation that I had with Mr. Clean. So if you could please look at his calendar and tell me if it's feasible for me to be put onto his calendar to have my future appointments be with him instead, I would very much appreciate it. I have to talk to him about this and see what he says, because I'm really not too sure. Does he have any availability on his calendar? He does, but he chooses who he wants to see. So I'll tell him that you're interested. I'll see what he says. That appointment, no answers, and go stand my happy ass at the bus stop across the street looking all stupid. Fast forward, and I get to my next appointment. What the fuck? Why is Brian's little ass coming out here? Huh? Locked eyes right with me. Hi, Nikki. If you want to just go ahead and follow me back. For what? He didn't give me a chance. He's already taking off. And y'all, I swear to you, I get up and I have to like pass the front desk to get to that room. And I swear this girl was smirking. I swear it. If I could have paused time, I swear she was smirking. But about halfway through my appointment, I'm in the main big area, okay? And Mr. Clean walks in. He's by himself. He's got his scrubs on. And he comes in. Happy as a clam. Hi guys, how are you guys today? Talking to me and Brian. Oh, we're good. And he kind of starts making his way over to the table that I'm sitting on. So we got her doing this and we got her doing this. I'm still uncomfortable. And I have so many appointments still with this entire situation. If you think that I'm gonna be riding 4 buses just to be uncomfortable, absolutely not. While I have you here, did you happen to talk to your receptionist about some changes I wanted to make to the schedule? You know, and I'm looking at him like, please don't make me go into detail, but like, man looks at me with so much confusion. He's like, I'm sorry, what? Mister, I don't remember having that conversation. Tell you what, why don't we, you know, just have a little chat after your session today and we can see what we can do. And I was like, okay. I can see the front desk from where I'm sitting, and I look over and I can see her looking, and we lock eyes, and I'm like, oh, you think this is funny? No, I got something for you. I got something for you. Because you know what? One thing you're not gonna do is try to play with me when it comes to your job, and you're literally gonna try to teach me a lesson by not doing your own job? Sweetheart, you must be new here. Fast forward, we get through that session. I meet up with Mr. White right in front of the front doors, right in front of that front desk. And he was like, okay, so tell me what's going on. And so I told him, I was like, you know, I stopped by the front desk last week. I just really feel like I would, you know, have a better experience being your patient and like seeing you for my sessions. Is that possible, please? You know, I'd really appreciate it. And he's looking at me and he's like, you wanna, of course, yes. He was like, you know, I pass on patients to some of my new hires, you know, just to kind of get their feet wet. See me, if you would rather see me, I have no problem with that. Girl, why did this girl acts like she has amnesia, okay? The same girl that was just smirking at me not too long ago, because I know she knew. She is sitting here in this mind. I'm so sorry. I don't know what you're talking about. What's happening? Oh, okay, I see. Let me look at your calendar. Okay, so yeah, so I have you Tuesday and Thursday at the same time next week. Okay, and then the weeks after that, I was just asked for the week, right? Girl, this girl's like clicking around. She's got a bag of hot Cheetos open up on her desk. Her fingers are all red. Girl, her keyboard on her keys, part of them are like looking pink because of all the hot Cheetos. He's looking at her keyboard, he's looking around her desk, and he's like, meanwhile, she's like clicking, and she was like, okay, so you're here for how many weeks? And like, he was like, she's here for 6 weeks. And so she's like, okay, and like, so we don't just need once, we like the rest of that. And he was like, all of the rest of the sessions. And so y'all, the amount of times he had to repeat this to her was insane. I was like, I just sat there, fly on the wall, just watching this girl fumble her way through her job. I got this, okay? Double check her work. Anyways, gots to go, peace out. I say my byes and I go and catch my bus. 2 more regular sessions. And then the next time I come back, I noticed that the regular receptionist is not there. Like the second girl, because there's always been 2 girls, but the second girl, she's a lot more quiet. She was there. So I checked in with her. She's super pleasant, super nice. He was talking to me about the insurance, and he was like, do they need any documentation about how many times you've been coming to your session, any updates? And I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm sure that's a good idea. Just give her a minute. She is working by herself today. We are a little bit short-staffed. And I was like, oh yeah. He low-key starts airing out his grievances, and he's just like, you know, a lot of emergencies, a lot of car problems, you know, it's really unfortunate, you know, just family emergencies. I understand, you know, life is crazy, but I need to be able to run my business well. I understand, I completely agree. I think that, you know, I've always learned, being a receptionist myself, I've always learned that we are pretty much the heartbeat of the office, and we make sure that everything goes the way it should and is streamlined. So I understand how important it is to have a reliable team member, part of your staff, to make that happen. So, you know, I get it. Do you see it? Did you see it? Oh, you're a receptionist too? And I was like, yeah, you know, I'm actually in between jobs right now. Started interning. I told him, and we start getting into this conversation about my past work, my experience. Y'all, this is low-key an interview. I'm not even kidding. Y'all, we have the most awesome conversation. We finish up our session. Next session comes around, and old girl at the front desk, she's back. I walk in, don't say nothing as per usual, wait my turn, and I go back, I have my session. Like, hey, so I had this printout, and I put Nikki's name on top of it. I left it up here this morning. Could we grab that real fast for her? Girl is digging off into a hot Cheeto bag. I'm sorry, what? And he was like, girl, he had to repeat himself, and you could literally see the disdain on his face, and he's like looking at her and looking at her hand. Oh, sorry. Sorry. You said it was, you put it up here? Really? I'll get it. I'll get all of this. I'll get all of this figured out before I leave. Like, don't worry. Like, don't remind me. I have to look for somebody to replace you. As he says that, his eyes shoot over to me and he hands me the paper. You looking for a job? Actually, yeah. I have my resume. I can email it over to you tomorrow. He was like, Maria, if you could keep your eye out for those emails and let me know when you get them so I can look them over, thanks. She was gobsmacked. You hear me? Gobsmacked. And I was like, okay, great. And I'm just looking at her like, I'm about to take your job. But I was straight up lying because remember, y'all, I left there and I knew it. I was like Petty McPet because why did I just tell this man yes when I know good and damn well this place is way too far and I'm riding 2 buses there and back, and if you think that I'm gonna do that every day for a job, that's absolutely not gonna happen. So no, this is not a good fit, but I said yes anyway for the moment. I definitely let him know at a later point in time that it was going to be an issue to get there distance wise because I did not have a car, and I really appreciate his consideration. But you know, I did that at a later date, but in her face, girl. I am currently in physical therapy. If you guys have any questions about physical therapy or what it involves, please let me know because I'm getting pretty well versed at this point. Pray for me, girl. Pray for my hips because they feel like they want to just fall off. But I love you guys so much, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Thank y'all so much for coming to chill with me for story time today. As per usual, like old times, I really missed you guys, and I will see your fine self in my next video. Peace out.